Everything changed the moment Elias woke up. He opened his eyes in his golden mansion and heard something he was never meant to hear. Voices, but not spoken ones. Thoughts, real thoughts. And in that 1 second, his perfect world shattered because the people he trusted the most, the friends who smiled at him, the family who praised him, the staff who bowed to him, were secretly planning to take everything he owned. But the real shock, there was someone else, someone hidden, someone powerful pulling the strings, a shadow watching him, a stranger who controlled everyone but couldn't control him. And what happened next will completely change everything he thought he knew about love, loyalty, and truth. Elias Verdun had it all: wealth, elegance, power, respect. He was born into the legendary Verdun dynasty, one of the richest families in the city. People loved him because he was gentle, kind, generous. He believed he lived surrounded by friends, guardians, supporters, people who cared for him. His father died when Elias was 12, leaving him the sole heir to a massive fortune. But everyone vowed to protect him. His uncle, Darion, promised, "I will guide you like my own son." His best friend Adrian swore, "I'll always stand by you." His assistant, Livia, said, "Your happiness is my priority." Everyone adored him. At least, that's what they pretended. It started on his 24th birthday. During the grand celebration, in a crowded hall filled with candles, laughter, and music, Elias suddenly felt a sharp pain behind his eyes, a stabbing, brutal flash, as if someone hit him with a beam of burning light. The world blurred, voices twisted, lights stretched. Elias fell to the ground. Hands rushed to him. People panicked around him. But beneath that chaos, beneath the shouting, he heard something impossible. Whispers, not spoken words. Thoughts, the raw, unfiltered thoughts of the people standing over him. Adrian's voice in his mind. "Don't die now, idiot. Not before I sign the property transfer." Livia's hidden voice. "Finally, maybe he collapses and I get my freedom." Uncle Darion's inner voice. "If he dies tonight, everything returns to me." Elias froze. His heart stopped. His breath vanished. He stared up at their worried faces and realized every smile was fake. Every touch was a lie. Every word was poison. He heard all their thoughts, true thoughts, dark thoughts, unfiltered, cruel, dangerous. Elias pulled away from them and terrified. Nobody knew he could hear them. Nobody realized their secrets were now exposed. On that night, the beloved heir learned the truth. Nobody loved him. They loved his inheritance. At first, his power was weak, chaotic, uncontrolled. He could only hear thoughts of people very close to him, within a few feet. He couldn't switch it off, couldn't block anyone out. Voices attacked him every time someone walked past. "I hope he signs the documents today. If he only knew how stupid he looks. I need more money from him. He doesn't deserve this estate." The thoughts came like a storm, sharp, loud, burning his skull. Elias locked himself in his room for 2 days, but the voices didn't stop. He heard staff outside. Lazy air. Always hiding. "I'd quit this job if the pay wasn't so good." He's pathetic. He realized something horrifying. People who acted kindest to him were often the worst inside. He lost trust in everyone except one. After the 3rd day, Elias noticed something even more terrifying. Between the personal thoughts of people, beneath their natural greed, he heard something else. A whisper, a voice that was not theirs. A cold, distant, artificial whisper. Soft, but controlling. Quiet, but powerful. A voice saying, "Do not stop. Push him further. Break him." Elias froze. That voice didn't belong to Adrian, Olivia, or Darian, or any staff member. It floated inside them, as if hiding underneath their real thoughts. He tested it. He walked past 10 different people. All of them had this extra whisper behind their thoughts. But the whisper wasn't talking to him. It was talking to them. Something or someone was pushing people, feeding their jealousy, amplifying their greed, whispering commands inside their minds. Elias realized, someone is controlling everyone around me. Someone is influencing their emotions. Someone is targeting me through others. Someone wants me isolated or destroyed. But who? On the 4th day, Elias went to his company headquarters. He was exhausted, confused, scared, but he needed answers. As he walked through the office, the thoughts of employees stabbed him like knives. He should resign already. Rich boy has no idea how to run a company. I can't wait for his downfall. But then, something happened. A girl walked past him, just a simple junior accountant. She looked at him shyly and said, "Good morning, sir." And in her mind, he heard, "He looks lonely. I hope he's all right." Her name was Mira Lane. Her thoughts were pure. No greed, no lies, no jealousy, just simple human kindness. She was different. Elias turned to look at her again, and suddenly, the dark whisper, the one he heard behind everyone else, started speaking inside Mira's mind too. But this time, it wasn't controlling her. It was panicking. "Stay away from him. She is not one of us. She can break the chain." Elias's heart stopped. Why was this voice scared of her? Why did the invisible puppeteer want Mira far away? He needed to know. Over the next days, Elias secretly followed Mira. He listened to her thoughts from afar. Every time he got close, he heard something incredible. Her thoughts never had the whisper inside them. She was immune. The mastermind could not control her, just like he couldn't control Elias. Why? What made them different? Slowly, Elias began talking to her, carefully. At first, she was shy, quiet, simple, but she was warm. Every thought she had was genuine. He felt peace around her. No noise, no bitterness, no poison. For the first time since awakening his powers, Elias felt safe with someone. But the whisper knew, and it didn't like this. People around Elias suddenly grew more aggressive. The whisper was pushing them harder. His chef started giving him spoiled food. His driver accidentally crashed his car. His assistant misplaced important documents. His uncle shouted at him for no reason. Adrian tried to convince him he was sick and needed to sign power of attorney. Each attack was small, but they were adding up. And each time, the whisper repeated, "Break him, break him, break him." Someone wanted Elias to fall apart. Someone wanted him weak. Someone wanted him destroyed without ever touching him directly. But Elias wasn't alone anymore. Mira noticed something was wrong. She told him, "People look at you with strange eyes. Something is happening." She didn't hear the thoughts, but she sensed the atmosphere. Her instincts were sharp, and Elias began to trust her. At first, Elias couldn't use his mind-reading power freely. He had 3 limits. He could only hear people within 10, 15 feet. Too many thoughts at once caused heavy pain. Strong emotions made his power unstable. But as days passed, something started changing. His power slowly strengthened. He could hear people from 20 feet away, then 30, then 50. He started picking up emotional signatures. He could tell when someone was angry before they even realized it. He could tell when someone was about to lie. He could sense fear in people's minds. And more importantly, he could detect the dark whisper more clearly. At first it was faint. Then it became louder, stronger, more defined, until one night, Elias heard the whisper addressing him directly for the first time. You should not exist. Elias felt the room shake. Someone was watching him, someone powerful, and Elias had just been noticed. Elias became obsessed. He started tracking the whisper across different people. Every person had the same whisper, but at different strength levels. Some had a faint whisper, barely noticeable. Some had stronger whispers, like they were fully controlled. Some had broken whispers, meaning they were resisting it. Mira had none. Elias mapped the pattern. He made a chart connecting names, places, and whisper strength. Slowly, a strange truth came out. The closer a person lived or worked near a certain old area of the city, the stronger the whispers inside them. An abandoned district, a forgotten neighborhood, and in the center of it, an old estate his father once owned. Nobody went there. Nobody talked about it. His father never mentioned it, but the whisper was loudest among people living near that estate. Elias realized the source is there. Whoever is controlling everyone is connected to that estate. He decided to go, but not alone. Mira insisted on joining him. She told him, "You shouldn't face this darkness by yourself." Her courage shocked him. He agreed. Together, they went into the forgotten district. Inside the old estate, everything was covered in dust. The furniture untouched, windows broken, air heavy and cold. But Elias felt something deeper, like the walls were whispering, and Mira felt it too. She said, "There's something wrong here. I can feel it." Elias started hearing thoughts, not from people, from memories. He heard echoes, laughter from years ago, footsteps of someone walking in the hall, whispers of, "He must never know the truth. Hide the child. No one can discover him." Mira clung to his arm, her heart pounding. Elias felt a presence behind the walls, not alive, not dead, something in between, like a psychic shadow. And then they found a hidden room. Inside it, old papers, photos, diaries, all belonging to a man named Silas Gray. A name erased from all family records. A man once close to Elias's father. A man who was declared missing 20 years ago. But he wasn't missing. He was hiding and controlling. Elias found a final page written in Silas's handwriting. The Verdun bloodline must end. The heir must be broken. Only then will my vengeance be complete. Elias's hands shook. Silas Gray was behind everything. But why? And how was he controlling minds? The answer came fast. A loud whisper filled the estate. "Leave. Now." Mira staggered backward. The house itself seemed to breathe. Someone knew they were here. Someone was watching. Elias grabbed Mira's hand and said, "We need to get out. Now." They ran. As they escaped, the whisper said, "You know my name now, but you will never find me." But Silas was wrong. Elias had a power now, and he was getting stronger. Back at Elias's mansion, they investigated deeper. Mira helped him search his father's old medical records. His father had a rare genetic condition that made him resistant to psychic influence. Elias inherited it. That's why Silas couldn't control him. But Mira, Why was she immune too? Finally, they discovered it. Mira had undergone a near-death experience as a child. Her brainwaves changed afterward. Her mind worked differently. Her brain didn't respond to psychic waves. She was naturally resistant. They were the only two in the city Silas couldn't control. That made them dangerous. Silas hated that, and he began attacking harder. Elias continued researching. Piece by piece, he uncovered Silas Gray's past. 20 years ago, Silas and Elias's father, Lucien Verdun, were partners, brilliant scientists, studying emotions, human behavior, psychic influence. But Silas wanted to go further. He tried experimenting on people, manipulating thoughts, controlling minds. Lucien tried to stop him. Silas was arrested, his research destroyed, his reputation ruined. But something happened. During one experiment, Silas awakened a terrible power. He learned to whisper into human minds, to push emotions, to amplify negative thoughts, to control feelings from afar. He became the mastermind of manipulation. But Lucien shut down his lab, and Silas swore revenge. Before disappearing, Silas said, "If I can't control your mind, I will control everything around you." 20 years later, Silas found his chance when Elias inherited everything. Silas wanted to destroy the Verdun bloodline completely, not by killing Elias, but by turning everyone Elias loved into weapons against him. That was the perfect revenge. Slow, cruel, silent. But Elias was too strong, and Mira was too pure. They became the biggest threat to Silas's revenge. So Silas whispered even harder. Mira couldn't read minds, but she had something else. Whenever Elias's powers became overwhelming, whenever he felt drowned by thoughts, Mira's presence calmed him. Her voice softened the noise. Her touch steadied his mind. Her honesty gave him strength. Mira became a grounding force. And something strange happened. Whenever Mira held Elias's hand, his mind-reading ability increased. The range grew. The clarity improved. He could hear the dark whisper more distinctly. He could track its origin more sharply. Silas realized this and panicked. Separate them. She is the key. Break her. People around Mira began acting strangely. Her landlord tried to evict her. Her co-workers suddenly turned hostile. Her friends ignored her. Letters appeared at her door, filled with whispers like, "Stay away from him." Mira felt terrified, but she didn't step back. She said, "If I run away, you'll be alone again. I'm not leaving you." Elias finally realized Mira is the only person brave enough to face the darkness with him. She wasn't just immune. She was the key to breaking Silas's control. When Silas understood that Elias and Mira were getting too close to the truth, he decided to attack them directly. In the middle of the night, the mansion staff suddenly turned violent. The chef tried to stab Elias. The driver tried to run him over. Adrian tried to force him to sign legal papers. Darian locked Mira in a storage room, all because Silas whispered, "End them." Elias and Mira escaped after a chaotic chase through the mansion. Elias's powers were now strong enough to detect every move the staff planned. He used their thoughts to dodge attacks, anticipate danger, and protect Mira. But the final attack was disastrous. A fire broke out in the mansion, clearly planned. Smoke, heat, panic. Mira got stuck behind a fallen beam. Elias used all his strength to pull her free, but Silas whispered into the minds of staff nearby, "Leave them in the fire." They abandoned them. Elias and Mira barely escaped alive. Outside, coughing burned and terrified. Elias whispered, "It's time I face him." Mira nodded. "You're ready now." And Elias was. His power had reached its full potential. It was time for the final battle. Elias and Mira returned to the abandoned estate. The air was thick, cold, silent, but Elias heard him. The whisper, louder, clearer, focused. They entered the underground chamber. A man sat in a chair, turned away, facing a wall of screens. Old, thin, eyes glowing faintly. Silas Gray. He smiled without turning. "Welcome, Elias. I've been whispering to you for a long time." Elias stepped forward. "You destroyed my life." Silas chuckled. "No, I simply revealed the truth of those around you. They always hated you. I just helped them show it." His voice was cold. Elias said, "You can't control me anymore." Silas nodded. "And that is my biggest failure." Then Silas turned to Mira. "And you are the flaw in my perfect system." Mira glared at him. "You can't break real loyalty. Not with whispers." Silas smirked. "We will see." He unleashed a powerful psychic wave. Elias staggered, but Mira held his hand. The wave broke instantly. Silas's eyes widened. That's when he realized. Together, Elias and Mira were unstoppable. Their minds synchronized, their strengths combined. Elias heard Silas's true thoughts for the first time. The truth shocked him. Silas wasn't just seeking revenge. He was lonely, broken, consumed by jealousy of Lucien Verdun's success. Silas had spent 20 years whispering into the minds of thousands because he had no one left. Elias stepped forward and shouted, "You ruined your own life. Not my father. Not me. You." Silas trembled. "Shut up." "No," Elias replied. "You broke yourself, and now everyone will know." With Mira strengthening him, Elias projected his own thought, a single, loud thought, into every mind Silas controlled. "Silas is the one manipulating you. Break free." Across the city, people awakened. Their thoughts became clear again. Silas's power broke. His whispers failed. He screamed in rage, collapsing to the ground. Elias looked down at him. "You wanted me isolated, but your whisper gave me someone worth trusting." Mira stood beside him, unafraid. Silas looked at her with pure hate. You ruined everything." Elias replied, "No, you did. And now your reign ends." Silas was arrested, his power gone, his mind broken, the mastermind of whispers finally silenced. When Silas's influence disappeared, people woke up like they were coming out of a nightmare. Adrian apologized in tears. Darian begged for forgiveness. Livia resigned out of shame. Elias forgave some, cut out others forever. But the most important part, he was no longer alone. Mira stayed by his side, not for money, not for power, but because she cared for him, truly. Elias rebuilt his life, his trust, his peace, and he learned something priceless. You don't need many people, just the right one. And Mira, she became his strongest ally, the one person he could never hear a single bad thought from. His power no longer felt like a curse. With her, it felt like a gift. One morning, Elias stood on the balcony of his restored mansion. The sun was rising. The city was quiet. No whispers, no lies, no manipulation. Just silence. Beautiful, peaceful silence. Mira walked beside him and said, "You look different." Elias smiled. "I feel different." For the first time, he felt free. The heir who once heard every lie now heard only truth. And as he looked at Mira, he knew he didn't lose everything. He found exactly what he needed, a heart he could finally trust.